the face of apartheid cruelty.
For me, in my life, and I'm now 68, it is one of the most terriblest life experiences ever. It was truly like as if the wind was blowing and it took the leaf from the tree and you just blew where the wind was taking you. It was so terrible. It was because you didn't feel like a human being. You were nothing.
On the 11th of February 1966, District 6 was declared a white area under the Group Areas Act. By 1982, more than 60,000 people had been uprooted and scattered across the Cape Flats.
Me and my late father, we were the last. My family moved out to Hanover Park already. We were the last standing there and actually seeing how our house was bulldozed. My father was killed in a mugging, just entering Hanover Park. About 6 months into Hanover Park, my father was killed.
Wow, 7 children.
And you were all living in District 6?
Yes, they were born here. When they told me I could move, they said I must move. I had to take 4 of my children with me. And they were going to school here, 3 of them. They moved me to Menenberg. They wanted to move me to Hanover Park.
In 1994, democracy brought hope that justice would at last prevail for former residents of District 6, and if not for them, then for their children. But to date, only a fraction of the 60,000 people eligible for restitution have lodged claims, and a mere 139 houses have been built. Those who are living in District 6 now say restitution has come at a high price. They've had to pay between 60 and 250,000 rand to move back. But the District 6 Beneficiary and Redevelopment Trust, which is also the developer, says claimants knew there would be a portion to pay.
For years before the places are built, there's probably been more than 70 study groups and workshop groups with all of these claimants saying that a contribution will have to be made because there's 3 phases of homes. It's 90 to 110 square meter homes. You've got a garage, you've got a carport, or you have off-street parking. You can't have a one-size-fits-all, and people who felt that they want a garage, they had to make a contribution towards the top structure, because you can't build that house as it stands now with the land for under $1 million. It's virtually impossible. It's a pipe dream for anybody to think that. The state don't have the ability to be able to make this political promise, this reckless promise which the minister has just made now, with Zille, saying that, nee, julle moet niks betaal vir julle huise nie, en restitution is free. Of course, I'd love that.
92-year-old Annie Bam's contribution was 65,000 rand.
They just said that I must have a bond because I didn't have money. So I said, but I haven't got money to pay the 65,000 because then they wanted the 65,000. So they said then I must take out a bond.
And who told you that?
The trust.
Memuna Chrysler now occupies the house awarded to her father.
My father, Ishmael Peterson, was 92 when he passed away. He missed moving into District 6 50 days, 2 months. It was very sad for me on the one hand. On the other hand, when I moved in here and I started living here and see what was this about, he would have died again because of sadness.
Chrysler too was told that she needed to take out a bond, but because she had worked as a nurse in government, thought she could apply for a housing subsidy. In the interim, she paid occupational rent into the trust's account. And how much was that?
700 rand.
And how many times did you pay that?
Only 3 times.
And what happened after that?
I refused to pay.
Bam and Chrysler are among 27 claimants who say they want their money back. The Department of Rural Development and Land Reform says it's aware that in the past, claimants had to pay a contribution towards the house they would receive. But the minister has since said restitution is free and claimants will even be exempt from paying rates for 10 years.
Our understanding is that people entered into this arrangement voluntarily between themselves as claimants and the trust, District 6 Beneficiary Trust. Well, I don't have the detail of what happens because it was something that happened between them. Now, but we have a responsibility to restore land, as I said earlier on. We're not in business. So ours is to provide land. So we provide the basic land free. I mean, the basic house free.
The trust says this basic house is only 60 square meters in size.
We will give the monies back. If the minister so wishes, then he must declare all those people indigent. Because the minister said to me in no uncertain terms, otherwise the minister is economical with the facts. He said to me, Anwar, the first 60 square meters are free and people will have to pay. And the same people were told that.
But in the same breath, Nagia says the money could be used towards future claimants, confusing residents even more.
The contribution they are making, it's to offset and to defray costs where we're going to have shortfall for the other 5,000 families that are coming post restitution, the extension of the cut-off date. Okay? So we didn't use any of the money in any event. So there will be short.
The money that they're paying is towards future claimants.
It's towards future claimants. No, towards future claimants, and if we need to build the first commercial nodes in the area, if we need to build the first commercial nodes.
So it's not for paying the difference.
No, not at this stage, because it well might be that the government says they made a mistake in issuing those homes free, and that people should be paying for the balance of their homes. It means retrospectively, all the ones who got their keys now and who haven't paid will have to make the contribution in any event.
Minister Nkwinti says legally the trust falls under the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, and any complaints should be directed to the Justice Ministry. But Nagia says residents don't need to go that far. All the trust needs is for the minister to order that the money be returned to claimants.
How can we call this homecoming when the third generation is paying off a loan, of a loan you had to take out because the trust wanted you to pay for the houses? So there's something really wrong, and we need justice for this.
Between the promises of government, the expectations of claimants, and the various groups fighting for their rights, getting to the bottom of restitution in District 6 is difficult. In the meantime, tens of thousands of people wait and most likely won't see restitution in their lifetime. Those who have come back are now working to rebuild that sense of community they lost and have longed for since the horror of forced removals.
I left here when I was a young man, right? I'm 63 years now. I haven't got much left of my life, but I'm enjoying so much this few months that I have in District 6. I was born under that table mounted. I'm back again, and the feeling is great. And if I can die with that feeling, well, I've achieved something.
There was always something missing in here, always longing for District 6. It was the most beautiful way of being raised in a community that was caring, that was loving.
You deserve to know more. eNCA.com.